I feel like 1 hour class is not enough, therefore you couldn't do the activities. And then I realized that like there are some topics I skipped. I thought you can just figure out how you do that, but when I look at the assignments, majority of the class couldn't do the assignment as I want. So that's why maybe today we can do 3 hour lecture, and I'll try to cover the other parts that I didn't explain. For example, tables. I didn't show the tables to you. And there is one more thing about the being like, it is hypertext transfer, right? HTTP, HTML hypertext. So what does it mean, the hypertext? So this is not clear, so that I need to show it to you as well. And let's start with your question if you have any. Is there any question, guys? No question. Okay. So last time we have this localhost. The lists, ordered list, unordered list, and images. And like I didn't show the table too. So the idea of the table, there are 4 different tags. Starting with the table, basically you just let the browser knows about that there's a table. So let's start this, build a table here. So to a table, first we need to open a table tag, right? Everything must be under this table tag, between this table tag, so that browser knows where your table starts and then when your table ends, basically. The tables has actually the idea of the table is you create rows. Okay, guys. Each time you want to add something, you create rows and add one more row and then one more rows. Okay, guys. For each row, we use tr tag, which means tr means table row. Okay, guys. In this table row, you just open a row, and then the number of data that you put gives you the columns. Okay, guys. So if you just give th, which means table header, okay, guys. If you give table header, or you can give a table data. We have 2 options here. Okay, guys. The header, the difference is just the only difference is the style. There's no more any kind of semantic difference between a table header and the table data. The only difference is the style. Table headers are like, they are bolder than the other. Okay, guys. Let's do an example. Let's say we have 4 columns like this. And this is, let's say, Monday, Tuesday, and Friday. Let's say this is somehow a schedule, Monday, Tuesday, and Friday, 3 days only. A schedule. Let's just run it. Try to see that. You see, my table is there. Of course, we can style it. We can add borders and other stuff as well. But right now, we just look at the table. So by adding these 3 things, I have 3 data. One is empty. So this is somehow wrong, but I want to keep it empty as well. So this is my choice. I want to have the first row, first column, the first data will be empty. Okay, guys, that's why I leave it empty. And then in the second table, so this is my first row, right? The first TR. On my second TR, I'm gonna use table data at the first place. Like you can just imagine like what the table look like. Let's say this is before noon, right? So this is before noon and Monday, right? If you just run it, like always try to see what you have built. It's something like that. Before noon and Monday, let's say you're gonna have um, hacking. I don't know why I say hacking, but I just want to say it. Hacking. And I want to make it table data, not table header. And I want to make it this table header. Okay, guys, hacking, then let's say women, and then hacking. So this is what you have. Let me make them table data, not header, because these are just a plain data. I want them to be look like a data. Okay, guys. Monday before noon, hiking. Tuesday before noon, swimming. Friday before noon, jogging. Okay, guys. Let's have another row. And this is afternoon. Let's say this is eating, sleeping, napping, let's say. Now it looks like this. I hope that you can see difference between like the styling of table data and table header. In the table data, it's left align, normal, but headers are bold and center aligned. Like otherwise, like this before and afternoon must be on the same level, but they are both center aligned. Like Monday, center, Tuesday, Friday. If we have borders, then it's gonna be more clear for you. So what if you add more row than the others? Can you have it? Let's say this is evening, chatting, doing homework, watch TV. Let's say I want to have one more. Now my table has not balanced. Gardening, let's say. Does it matter? No. Tries to put gardening as if the all others have the fourth column or fifth column. So let me draw the border actually. We're gonna see what does it mean style and how we can build a style. Border 2 pixel. Beginner. Change this style. It should be like this. Border style. Let's say dashed. Border. Color should be black directly. I don't need to change it. I should be able to pick a thickness for the border. Okay, I couldn't do that because I think I made a mistake here somehow. We'll see. Let's see how we do it, but I think you see how it's styled, right? Like how the styles are aligned. If you put a row, you just have it, and you can just have as many columns as you want. It doesn't need to be balanced. It doesn't need to be all in shape. Any question about the tables? Like this is not a CSS class, and we are not come to CSS yet, so that's why I didn't want to bother with you with CSS. Okay, guys. The other thing is, like in the assignment, I ask you to do linking, right? Before doing that thing, I want you to like you are supposed to know like you should actually look for how you can do this linking in a web page. So the idea is I would like to do something like this. For example, I don't know, Wikipedia or okay, guys. So what I wanted is having some kind of menu on the top of your page in your assignment, in the first assignment. When you click on that, the related part should come atop like this. Now click broadcasting, it should be here. History should be same page. I didn't change the page, but I just changed the area of the page which displays. Okay, guys. So this is what I want you to have in your exam, but nobody could do that because like I didn't show it to you, but I expect that it's not gonna be hard at that time. So the idea of that, guys, is that the all the text is hyperreference, which means that all of them are linked to each other. You can just redirect any kind of text, any kind of page, any kind of link to your web page. Okay, guys. So to do that, what you need to do is actually provide or give an ID to your text. Okay, guys, let's say, let me give you a paragraph here. An ID is, we're going to talk about it. No, ID is not a CSS property because I can write it in anywhere, right? That's why. Like you can use the ID in JavaScript as well. You can use ID in hypertext in HTML as well. CSS is for styling. ID is using CSS as well. Okay, guys. So ID basically must be unique, and you provide an attribute for your elements. Okay, guys. Let's see if you have ID like this paragraph. Let me just grab some text. It's gonna be a large one. Oh, okay. And then let me have another paragraph, and let me call it ID paragraph 2. The first one was paragraph 1, right? No, just paragraph 1, paragraph 2. And let me have another text. I just tried to fill the page, so that's why I'm just having those texts. Okay. So my web page looks like this right now. Okay, we have enough text to have it, right? So how we can give, how we can provide this feature to your program? Like clicking on it gives you the correct one. Okay, guys. So you have an anchor, right? It's a link, so you need to use this anchor H or A. Then you have to provide the href, right? And let's say this is first paragraph. First paragraph. And then I would like to have another anchor for the second paragraph. So I told you that like you can provide a link to here, or you can simply provide an ID for a paragraph or ID for an item. if you provide this paragraph 1, paragraph 2 with a pound key, or you want to call it hashtag, that's fine. Then when you have your page like this, it gives you the one that we want. If I make it bigger, like when I click on the 5 player shared record is like the first paragraph, and the second one starts with at the end of each workup, right? When I click on the second paragraph, I'm here. When I click on the first paragraph, I hit 5 player. So you don't have to put it at the top of the page, so you can have the same thing at the end of the page, so that when you go back and you read everything, if you want to go back to first paragraph, then you can do it. First paragraph gives the 5 player shared record, right? And second paragraph at the end of each workup. This was what I was looking for, but I'm not gonna cut any point from you. That's why, because I didn't show it to you. And I don't think it was clear enough for you guys, so that I skip it from the assignment. Is there a question, guys? So on iExam, I put another document for the image, audio, videos, and tables. And so the definition is there. So this is how we define a definition. If we didn't talk about it, so I forgot how to do that. And here it's the same. DL is the list. DT is for definition tag, and the definition data. So tag is coffee here, and indeed you have to give the definition, like black coffee with sugar made with roasted coffee beans, or iced tea is made with tea without milk, flavored with lemon, something like that. So DT is for the tags, and DD is for the data. Okay, guys. I can just show an example like DL. You give it, then you have to close it to DL. So this is your list, like the ordered list and unordered list. Then for each row, we have to define a DT, a definition tag. I said coffee here. And then a DL, black coffee with sugar, black coffee with sugar. Might look like it. There should be some kind of indenting, as I did expect from here. Do you know, guys, why it's not working like as I expected? I want to see something like that. So I did the same thing, but it shows me differently. Oh, it's definition data, not DL. Okay, my bad. Yeah. Thanks, guys. Hiçbir değildi. Definition data. not the list again. Now it looks like this. So this is good for a restaurant menu, right? Like if you have a restaurant, and it's something like you provide the item, you provide the price tag, then you provide the definition of like what is how it's gonna made. Regularized to, let's say. Now, yeah, you have this thing. Thanks, guys. This is definition. So you can just look at the other tags. Like there are so many tags that I cannot explain. So I just skip them. Okay, guys. So you can look at the audio and video. You provide an audio and then you have the source tag, like you have controls, autoplay, everything is there. Okay, guys. Any question? Okay, guys. So in the first part, like in the HTML part, as I explained, we are not doing any kind of styling. We may do it, but this is not a preferred style of developing. HTML is just for the provide the layout for the page. Okay, guys, provide the ID, provide the layout, and that's it. And you just let the browser knows about the type of the data. For example, this is the definition list, and this is title, right? This is not a paragraph, but title. You just give this kind of information with HTML. If you would like to do a styling, and yeah, you need to do that mostly, you have to use CSS. So there are three types of the CSS ruling. The first one is inline. You just give the style directly in the code. Like, for example, I want this copy to be, I hope that I can do it right now, style. Let's say color. I hope color is working. Yeah, so I said that this is style and this is my rule. I said that the copy is going to be red, right? And I put it as an attribute for my tag. You see there's a tag DT. I open it, and before I closing it, I can provide attributes for it. Like this meta char set, right? Like the same thing. The other hand, no attribute, and there are so different type of attributes, and styling is one of them. ID was one of them. You can give ID like this as well. You don't like there's no limit for the attributes. Let's say this is ID, you can say copy here as well. So that this tag is known as copy by your web application, by your web page. Okay, guys? So this is the first type of doing it. Just put the code, put the style directly to the related tag. The second type of it is called embedded. But the first type is just, let me tell you, I forgot to say, it's a specific to an element. If I write style color red on this tag, this rule is applied only specifically for this tag. No other tags will be affected by this rule. If I give style for a page, it's called embedded internal. Called in the header of a web page, specific to a web page. If I give this style in the head part, like I open a style like this, then I say I need to provide a rule here. And what I want to say is that, let's say coffee, or let's say DTs. DTs are going to be color red. make it blue, so we're going to talk about something else. I said all the DTs will be color blue. So this rule is applied to all DTs that I have in my web page. Okay, guys, like this. As iced tea and water becomes blue. But not this one. If I remove this inline coding, then it's going to be blue as well. So the third type of it is the external type, which means that we're going to keep a different file for the for our text. And the web pages that are linked to our CSS file or the text file will be affected by the rules. In this example, like I'm gonna use like this is my folder, there's nothing else right now. If I'm gonna do file, I can open a new file. I hate using this thing. There's a new file, right? It doesn't matter, I can open it here. Let's say I'm gonna say main, I want to say DT are gonna be color green. Okay, guys, now I can do it. Yes, save as main.css. So, guys, now in my same folder, I have main.css, and I put this rule on my main.css file. Okay, guys. Let me just remove this. Remove this. So there's now styling on my HTML page. In CSS part, I have just one coloring, which is green, right? Right now, nothing will happen because my web page, this index HTML, is not linked to the external part, right? I didn't link it. So you need to link it to make it happen. To say that, you have to provide a, let me just see, like you just need to provide a link how to connect CSS. I don't want to say like, I don't want to give any kind of wrong references. Internal, external. Okay, this is it. Sorry, guys, I need to see it because I don't want to make any mistake. It is like link, and then you just provide a relative. It's called style sheet. So you have to give what kind of style you want to give it. And then with the href attribute, you provide the link for it, like main.css file. Now, my HTML page is linked to a CSS file with a style sheet. Right? So CSS means cascading style sheet. This is style sheet, guys. So I just give a relative relation. The style sheet link must be main.css so that my browser looks at the CSS rule and try to apply it to all the elements that are fit. Now, as you can see, since I have a rule and since my CSS file is linked, all the DT tags becomes green. The rule is applied. Okay, guys. If I have another, like, so you are not limited to just one kind of stuff, one kind of style sheet. Okay, you can change it. But the most preferred one, and this is what I want you to do, that is using the external one, because it provides flexibility. You can carry your project, and also it gives you the control over the rules of the CSS rules. For example, if you just have one CSS like style like this, if we have rules like this under like style like this, for each page, if you have it, right? When just let's say you want to change the style for each page that you have. Let's say you have a web page that has at least 10 pages and you want to change a feature, right? So what you need to do is you need to go back to all the pages and change this page specific rule for all of them. or if all of them are connected to your main CSS file, just changing this main CSS rule, then you're gonna have the rule applied to your entire web page. The external one is one that we prefer because this is what makes our project is more under control and scalable. Okay, yes. So what's a CSS rule? It has this kind of format. The first one is the selector. You have to define what the selector is. Then you have to give the properties and the values. Okay, guys. For example, here, DTs are selector, name of the tag, DTs, right? And color green is my property. Color is the property and green is the value. So that my property is color and the value is green is applied to all DT tags. I can give as many as I want. Like I can give font style. I don't know what else I can say. Font family we have. I think font style I can say italic here. If I give italic, as you can see, all the text becomes italic. So the rules that you can have is almost like unlimited. I cannot show all of them to you, but the most of them has something for body to have a background color. Let's say you can say background color is gonna be pink. I hope it's not gonna be so ugly. Yeah, this is my body is the entire page, right? Everything is that I see is inside of the body. So if I change the background color of the body, I can change the background color of my page, right? As you can see, the body will be there, and like for the images, you can have rules. Like you can just change the width and height of the images, and we had one previously. Okay, guys. So inline. So these are just example embedded in the page and the external dashboard. So there's something called the cascading. It's called cascading style sheet. It's something like the waterfall. And the idea of the cascading is that if the rule is more specific, it has higher priority, which means that let's say the DT color green is and the font size italic is for the external, which means it's specific to entire web application. Right? It is specific to entire web application. But if I have something for web page, let's say I have style DT color red, let's say. So this rule is more specific. It is specific to web page. Therefore, when I run my page, it become red. The rule, the inner rule, the more specific rule, outrule the others. Okay, guys. But again, if I make a rule for this ID copy, or I can just say here style, and I can provide attribute here, color, let's say blue. So this rule, the third type of the rule, is more specific. Right? It is specific to one single tag, one single element. Therefore, this rule will be applied that particular tag. Okay, guys. This rule applies one particular tag, as you can see. I have three rules defined for this DT tag. The first one makes it green, which is for the web application, all the web pages. Second one is for just one web page, makes it red. And third one is just for this particular copy, particular DT. That's why it's applied to it. So what if I have more than one page? Let's say I have another page. index, and let's say this is contact us page. Okay, guys. So I'm gonna have the same thing because I just want to show you that like the rules is applied. Contact us. Okay, guys. I don't have star color right here. Everything is the same. It's gonna be connected to the main. Let's say the blue is here as well. So what happens if I go to contact us? Contact us.html. As you can see, now ICTM water has green. What if you put link tag under the style tag? You mean the position like this? Style is put link tag under style tag. So you mean this thing, right? If I'm correct understanding. So this must be go above, right? It doesn't matter. If I can put it like in the very bottom of body, it doesn't matter for you. Okay. It's not about like the position of this. The position only affect in JavaScript, but in CSS it doesn't matter. It looks at how specific the rule is. Okay, guys. So let's look at the color blue. Let's do this one. Just for the like P color blue. Okay, this is an example. Let's save it. So in our main CSS, let's get rid of this DT anymore. I don't have any DT. We can see here. Okay. Okay, guys. So the example says we have P color blue and A color red. P, it is gonna be the same, guys. Like what's gonna happen? I do have an example. Let's skip it. Doesn't matter. So this is just the same example. So let's look at how we can define colors. So there are predefined colors like the blue, black, fuchsia, gray, green, yellow, white, pink as I used before. There are other like colors. You can use them if you want. Use no text. So color aqua gives you this. What do we have? We have silver. Silver gives you this. They are predefined colors. And these are the examples. There are many more colors, guys. There are many more colors predefined. And also, you can use the 32-bit, no, 24-bit representation of them. Like RGB. All of them will start from 0 to FF, right? So what you need to do is, either you can do this or grab the pound key and give a number. If you give 00, FF00, it's gonna be red because FF is for the R part. So this is R. R gonna be 255. G, green part is 0, blue is 0. Okay, guys, so if I run it, it gives you the red. So you can play it. You can give any kind of color you want. Like if you know any kind of like, if you have a somehow some kind of color panel and you know the this kind of has a representation of the colors, then you can have the color. Okay, guys. Or the other type of representation is take RGB and giving the numbers of them. So this color and this will be the same. So I'm just gonna keep it to RGB. If you can just say RGB, like 255 00, right? Is there? It's important. So this is 255, which means red is 255. Let's make it 0 and make it like green, blue. Blue is 255. I think so, yeah. RGBA is will be there. You can say it. It's defined, right? For transparency. If I make it like 120, like half transparency, I think. It look like this. So you have to have some kind of item to see how transparent it is, I think. But this is the way of defining, there are three ways of defining colors. Either you can just use the name of it, or give the hexadecimal representation, or just using RGB numbers. And then to define size, we have this font, page width, element height, something like that. And let's say a paragraph here. I think you know how to use lorem ipsum generator. Just give me one paragraph. So lorem ipsum gives you dummy text. It doesn't mean anything. That. I just want to give a island. Okay. So we have font P, right? And when we run it, it looks like this. Let me change the color. So I think pink was nice. Doesn't hurt the eyes. Okay. So this is my text. And by providing the rule, I can change the family, the size of it, right? So if I just say P font, let's say 28. Just say PT here. I don't actually remember. Maybe I just say PT. I need to say PT. Let me see. No, should I say PT to make it point? Or should be just big or small? I remember it gives you some kind of autofill. Let me see. What are they? So there are so many rules, guys. I don't even remember CSS font rules. It says pixel. I didn't think of pixel. Why? 20 pixel. Didn't know why. So EM it use. EM is too big. There are some kinds of no. I cannot make it, guys. Oh, because okay, font is used for the generic rule. Font is used for all of them. Yeah. Sorry, guys. If you say font, you have to provide 4 or 5 rules next to each other, like this. It's somehow like used for the shorthand. You can define like if you can say font, there are font size, then there are font family. You can just choose whatever you have, whatever you want. And then what is next? Font style. It's italics or not italics, something like that, or small caps are there. And then the last one, what is the last one? It says 24.1. Sans serif, small caps, bold. What is this? Instead of providing all of them, like font family, sans serif, if you provide this is what you get. So yeah, 5 is too big. So this is for the sans serif. The other one is font weight. Okay, then. Yeah, makes sense. Font weight. 1 pixel, I think, good enough, or 2 pixels too much. Let me see. Is that 2 pixel? So I don't remember font weight, how to give the data for it. But guys, the thing is, if you go to internet and you can see all of these different type of the font rules, you know, like I don't remember because like I don't expect you to remember those stuff. When you need it, you can just look for it and find it. But instead just writing all of this differently, you can just say font and give all the details, all the rules next to each other. This is, so you can just font, 20 pixel, bold, sans serif. It should be working. Or there's some kind of rule that I need to make it like this. It changes somehow, right? On side, it changes. Okay, guys. Okay, this is important actually. So, but the problem is with this thing, like providing you 20 pixel as a size is problematic because like all devices are different screen size. So let's say you put an image. I have an image here, right? As far as I remember. Yeah, cloud JPEG in images. This I would like to have an image here. Images cloud.jpg. Right, okay. So let me run it. Okay, this is what our image looks like. If I say this will be as big as 300 pixel as a width. Width is 300 pixel. So guys, for the images, like you can do it actually. Style with 300 pixel, let's say. So this may make sense for my computer, but what if a mobile user logs in and tries to see your image? Now it is a problem, right? It will be problematic for each device. Therefore, you're supposed to give somehow a dynamic value. For example, 50% of the page. Whatever you are seeing is going to be covering 50 pages of your page, 50% of your page, right? Like this. Okay, it's just 50%. If you open I think it's going to be scalable as well. No. So if I just shrink my web page, as you can see, the size of the image is dynamically changed because my rule says that it's going to be the 50% of the width. If I make it 70%, as you can see, it covers 70% of my width. So for a mobile user or different resolution tablets, right? If you give a static value like 300 or 300 pixel, you'll have problem. This is 300. Maybe make it 800 so that we can see 900. We can see it. This is 900. If I shrink the page, it doesn't move, right? It's static. That's a problem for the clients. Right, guys? That's why for the size, we try to have not just static value, but the dynamic values like 50% is commonly preferred. Okay, guys? It's 52. Let's take a break. And I'll be here at 3:05. Okay, guys? Any question? There is no question. Okay, guys, it's C 305.